veins. I've been driving this train, years in this lane. There's no stopping this flame, cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 oh, oh.
Pretty nice, eh? I mean, it's a privilege to have the opportunity to have one of these. I always believe we are custodians of anything we have in our possession. We never really own anything. But what are the specifications of this car? Well, first of all, you've got sports exhaust pipes, and the difference with these is Concorde style, you know, patterns there. Yellow calipers, I think that's an option. So the yellow calipers are an option. These are 20-inch diamond cut alloys. They're the top of the range alloys, wheels that come with it. The shields are actually an option. I think my next one, I'll probably not have shields, I'll have no shields. From the outside, it's Grigio Titanium, which is one of the launch colours. There was Blue Roma, or Roma Blue Roma, and Grigio Titanium is the two colours. Although Grigio Titanium is not a new colour like Roma Blue or Blue Roma, it was one of the two launch colours. This particular car has a sensor here, which is the adaptive cruise control. So it's got ADAS in the system. Which means that it will keep the distance between the car in front. The key itself is got the Ferrari logo. It's got leather bound backing, 2 buttons only, a whole bunch of functions. When you go to the back, we'll come and look at the birth certificate. Those of you know, in the trunk of every Ferrari, whether it's at the front or the back, the trunk, you know, here we go. Here's the birth certificate. So the specifications list, this car's got Apple Play, ADAS full plaque, which is the sensors and the adaptive cruise control. It's got yellow brake calipers. We'll go inside and look at the internal in a minute. It's got Cavallino stitched on the headrests, Grigio, Chiaro, charcoal inner details, sport tailpipes, the mats, home link, which is bizarrely, you have to option in your garage door opener. It's got carbon fibre steering wheel with the LEDs at the top, Scuderia shields, which I showed you. This has MagneRide dual motor suspension. Most Ferraris have MagneRide included. This is the liquid which magnetizes on electricity to soften or harden the suspension. You have to option it in on the Roma. So this has got the MagneRide. Passenger footrest and driver's pedals are in aluminium. The 20-inch forged diamond alloys, full electric seats, meaning, you know, not the basic electric. It's got all full functions, including bolster support, etc., etc. Foldable rear backrests, so you can actually fold the seats down if you actually wanted to get some more luggage room. And by the way, this is the luggage space in there. I mean, it goes right up there, and then the seats go down as well, so it's not bad luggage space. I have been to Trader Joe's shopping, grocery shopping already yesterday. Surround view and Michelin tyres. The thing about the Ferraris, you can actually specify which brand of tyres. I think it's Michelin, Pirelli and Continental. And this one's got Michelin, and on the other one I'm going to get, it's definitely got Michelin tyres. So interestingly enough, no button to press it down. However, you have to lift it manually and drop it manually. But if you just drop it like this, it will drag the boot lid down. This is the rear spoiler. You have no control over this. At a certain speed in certain driving modes, whether it's race or comfort, this will come up, but you can't manually bring it up and down. Truthfully, it's more functional. It's there for the aerodynamics. It doesn't look pretty when it's up. I like it down personally myself. So this, going into the interior, let's have a quick look. Now the first thing you'll notice that the handles are all flush. there's two buttons. This is to lock and unlock the car, and then this is handle actually doesn't operate a mechanical lever as such. It operates a lock, so it's got proximity, so you don't have to press the buttons, you just have to have it somewhere near, and I can just put my hand in and basically it pops out, as you can see. There's no mechanical, it just pops out electronically, and here we go. So it's got the Nero interior, got the Grigio, I think it's silver stitching all around. This is Alcantara in the main door panel here. This one's got the JBL power sound system. That's another option as well. You can see the bass speakers, etc. That's something I would order in another car. But as you can get in, you can see immediately it's a 2 cockpit car. It's supposed to be a 2+2. Let me bring this forward. 2+2. As you can see, it's probably there for maybe a kid. The actual owner's manual says nobody over 59 inches high should sit in the back for their own safety. So if you're 59 inches and higher, then hey, forget it. But this is the space you got. So when the seat's back, I just want to show you how much it comes back. When the seat's in the position where I can drive it, hey, you're not getting anybody in there. But hey, who's going to be there? Now these seats, like I said, they're the full electrics, which means the bolsters come in and out here, some electric function here. Got the mats, I've got the carbon steering wheel, and when you start to get into the car, start looking at the car itself, you know, you've got, oops, let me get this bit better. You start looking at, this is the gear selector, where they've gone back to the old manual gate shift design, except they're actually electronic buttons, so automatic, manual, power start, reverse. And traditional in Ferrari, when you want to go off, you hit the right one for reverse, and you know, up and down paddles, sorry, right one to go into first gear to drive off. Coming on this side, you can opt for the display, passenger display, but I haven't got one in this car, and I'm not going to get one in the new car either. Interestingly enough, let's go over back here. I'm just going to try and adjust my clamp on the actual, give me a second. Right, here we go. So just shortening the clamp on my GoPro handle. When you get into the car, you actually put the key in here, and it sits just down there, as you can see. Hope you can see that. So it's just down there, underneath it, out of the way. This is a cup holder. You put a cup holder in. You can put your cup in, and these two flaps open up. There's a storage where all the USB stuff goes. Glove compartment over here. Now the interesting thing here, just want to show you something. There's no door handles to open the car door. You press this button and it just electronically opens. Now, before anybody says, oh, what if it breaks down and how do you get out? Underneath here, there's a lever. Just see if you can see that. And you pull that, in case of electrical failure, you can pull that and get out of the car. I have seen some YouTubers complain that actually could lock you in the car. Not the case. Even if you actually can't get in with the proximity sensor, there's a manual key to get in and out of the car. So you get into the car, and actually you're faced with this. Switch on the ignition. You see Ferrari Roma, as you can see. Switch on the ignition, and you got Ferrari coming to life, the Cavallino, and there we go. And it's all, I mean, look, there's lots of reviews on the actual internet with all the functions. I just want to tell you about the spec on this car. This is the full dashboard. You can change the dashboard view. This is some sort of semi-race view. It's got the Manantino switch, so if I actually, this got a race setting, so the ESC off, I've been driving with the ESC off. You can see on the screen, the actual switch comes into play. You know, just really, really cool. All these buttons down here, they're actually touch screen, so if I click it, you know, screen, so you just touch it. It took me a bit of time to actually learn how to use this. The great thing about this is if I plug my, one thing I wanted to plug in is actually my phone, and I want to show you where Apple CarPlay plugs up, because you got this center console as well. which does a bit of functions, but you know, this center console does your audio, your phone. But here's the interesting thing, you know, I just plugged my iPhone and Apple CarPlay was a, what's it called, I'm going to pause that, was a actual option before. I think it's now included. But if I go to the screen and I go down, click Apple CarPlay, and guess what? It comes up in the actual front screen. So this is the new design thing that Ferrari talking about, where so Apple CarPlay comes up here, your miles per hour there. You can change the view easily, you know, to, if I keep this pressed, go back to that, and then go back to Apple CarPlay if you want. You can have your navigation up there. The whole idea is that everything that a driver needs is, you know, everything a driver needs in line of sight. He doesn't have to look to the left or to the right. So I don't have to go like this and start looking at, can I do the Apple CarPlay while I'm driving over there? So the whole thing that what Ferrari did, which is really interesting. So what did Ferrari do? So what Ferrari did, it's a bit hot in here, let me just pull the window down. So what Ferrari did, when they decided to design this dashboard, they put a system on front of the car doing retina scanning, and they checked out Apple CarPlay, light function, etc. And what they did, they scanned for the retina where it was when it was using that function. And what they found, a lot of the time, the eyes were moving away from the road. And with that, you know, so you had no periphery vision of the road exit, looking at the center console for Apple CarPlay. So what they did was take everything that was taking, I think, you know, a big percentage, I can't remember what the percentage is, but if it's taking a large percentage of your eyes away from the road or looking forward to a central screen or down, Ferrari decided with the electronic software, put all that function in front of you in that dashboard. So there's some logic to why Apple CarPlay is there. So there's a lot of people out there thinking, God, what a horrible place to put Apple CarPlay. But Ferrari did some real good research on that. So everything that goes in that screen is everything that would normally distract you as a driver to go and find that function, which is quite interesting. So that's why they've got all the functions here: cruise control, indicators, wipers, everything's in your line of vision. And so if you look down briefly, you still have periphery vision to notice any obstacles in front of you. If you look to the right and start doing Apple CarPlay and other functions here, you know, you actually got your eyes off the road. So that was the whole theory behind putting a lot of the functions in the central dashboard. They actually got this retina scanner to watch the driver's eyes using different functions of the cars while they were driving. So that was interesting. The rest of the car, you know, it's cool. It's got this, you know, space here. You can put your phone here. You can get a wireless charger for that if you optioned it. You know, doesn't, you know, I don't need it. I've got my cable in there, but you can do wireless charging. All this Alcantara, this top is leather. Now what's interesting, the Alcantara that goes around the doors over here, and this could be a different color, but this is a light mid-gray. But the Alcantara is standard in the Roma, in the midsection. You can change the colors. So that's really it. So that's the car. I think, let me take you for a drive. It's an awesome car to drive. And let me explain how the driving function is. It's not supposed to be a full-on review. There are a couple of things I wanted to talk about, you know, why things are the way they are, why the design language is the way it is. You know, I think every YouTuber has come over the top, or every expert reviewer has come over the top with their own view of it. I'm a guy that does a lot of research, and I think I understood where they're going. So a couple of things to point out. Everything in the front screen, they did some work in terms of retina scanning to see what functions of the car the eyes were focusing on that while driving. So that was really cool. I think that's a really interesting reason why everything's in the front screen, what is in the front screen. Number two, the design language. It comes from the 250 GT from 1960. The 250 GT from 1960 is inspired by Pininfarina, and you know, Flavio Manantoni, who designed or was responsible for the design of this car, talks about this car, you know, being very, very fluid, being the GT lines of the 60s, you know, it's supposed to be understated, supposed to be able to roll up in style, but, you know, not noticed, all that type of thing. Is this the design language of Ferraris of the future? You know, you might look at the rear lights and go, yes, you know, you see the rear lights in the SF90, but is the SF90 the same design language as this, just because it's got similar tail lights? No, I don't think so. You know, just because it's got front, you know, matrix headlights the same as the SF90 or the F8, is it the same design language? No, I don't think so. I think you can't stipulate the design language based on a couple of components. You know, I believe, my belief is, based on what this car has been produced for, you will not see these design lines coming into other Ferraris very, very easily. I think every car has its own purpose, and every car has its own story, and every car has its own reason at Ferrari for being the way it is. I hope all Ferraris don't end up becoming like this, because this is what makes this car unique, and this is what makes this car keep its value as well. Anyway, let's head off. Okay, we're off. If you see a picture, if you see the picture on the front of the car, you see a black dome. That's a suction pad. I'm using an Insta360 camera to get a picture of the front of the car. And you know, as those of you know much about them, they do the invisible stick, so you know, it just looks like I've got a drone. So the black wart on top of on the front hood is actually my camera mount. So anyway, I hope you get some good shots. It's a great little camera. So we're on our way. I'm going to try and go up to Bodega Bay, near where I live, and also got my camera. I've got this new device which I'm going to take some pictures of with my camera as well, and then see where we go. So get back to the car. As you can hear, very, very quiet in here. It's very, very subdued. It's really designed so that you can turn up understated in your Ferrari, you know, and hopefully you could go to your to an evening out in your tuxedo, you know, your lady in your arm with the black dress, you know, and get there very composed, not in a state. And I think that's one of the great things about the actual the Ferrari Roma. It really is, coming back to the design, an everyday car. And I know people are going to sit here and go, how's this an everyday car? Oh, it thinks I've got a passenger in, but let me just put the passenger seatbelt on. I've got some camera equipment on the passenger side. So, cancel Siri.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Cancel. Sorry, Siri talking.
There's nothing to cancel.
Okay, fair enough. So that's Siri. So the car's got Apple CarPlay, as I told you before. Anyway, we're going to go down some of the roads. I'm going to go up to Bodega Bay. Hopefully I've got my camera take some nice still shots. I mean, the car is worthy of some still pictures. Let me just get out of this junction. It's a little bit busy. I want to get out, I want to get out, I want to get out. Oh, I don't think I'm going to get out too easily. Give me a second. I do worry about my 360. I might stop a couple of times to make sure it is still lodged in place, because I have lost one 360 camera last week when I went on the Breakfast Rally Club. Let me put this in sport. Bumpy. Oh, this traffic, crazy, man. So hopefully, nope, not yet. Give me a second, viewers, and I shall be with you shortly. Get out of this place. I'm done, I'm out. Okay, here we go. Okay, so like I said, it's an understated car. I mean, it's not super quiet. I can still hear the engine rumbling. I mean, I can drop the gears and, you know, put it in manual mode. So the aesthetics of the car Ferrari is not gone. You know, it still is essentially a Ferrari, you know, so you can't complain. You haven't got there, but it's not about, you know, being leery. For that, you got the V12s, you got the F8s. You know, this is not about that. This is, like I said, being very very understated when you turn up. Other than that, I don't know what else to say about the car. I mean, the quality of the materials in here are really cool. You know, I really like them. Up to Ferrari standards. I mean, the thing about the pictures, you know, like online and the videos, it doesn't do it justice. And I know everybody said that, but when you get in here and the actual quality of the leather you see, just put it in auto mode, it's really amazing. You are in a luxury car. Now, it's no Bentley Continental GT, although that is the market that Ferrari is aiming for with this car. And, you know, it's not quite an Aston Martin. It definitely sits on its own in terms of, you know, its value proposition. You know, I gotta say, when I look at buying a Ferrari, I don't look at a GT Continental Tourer. If I look at buying a GT Continental touring machine, I'd go Aston Martin, I'd go, you know, Bentley, I'd go S-Class Coupe, that type of thing. When you buy a Roma, you buy Ferrari first, absolutely, you know, and that is evident in this car. It's absolutely Ferrari first, and that's one of the things that I really love about this. You know, it doesn't matter that you wanted a GT Tourer. The fact is, you've bought a Ferrari, you know, and that's the key thing. You're not getting in and finding some compromise. It's not a Maserati, you know, and that's the other thing. So some years ago, there was this a concept car by Maserati called Alfieri, named after the founder of Maserati, and the pundits out there and the various people out there said that this should have been a Maserati. I don't agree, you know. I think it's very much Ferrari. It's got the 3.9 litre V8 engine in it. It's got 611 brake horsepower. It does 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. And it's got a top speed of 199 miles an hour. That's very much Ferrari territory. You know, you can't say better than that. Proper GT touring, fast tourer across the continents, across the states. But the performance, 3.4 seconds. But do you need it? No, not at all. You're not buying this car to go to 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. However, it does give you Ferrari, and that's the key thing. You know, the fact that it does 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds, the fact that it's actually really, you know, in terms of your the sound feeling, it delivers on that as well. So it's a really cool car, you know, everyday car. So remember, 611 brake horsepower, and still does 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds, and it's got a very linear torque curve all the way through. It holds the power right to the end, and that's really amazing, you know, because, you know, there's no turbo lag. It doesn't even feel like there's a turbo in this car at all. It's twin turbo, I think, but it doesn't feel like there's a turbo in it. It just right at the offset. So how is this car to be and live in? Could I drive it every day? Yes. I'm driving it like I'm driving my Golf GTI. You know, I'm not rushing around in it. I've got bumpy road mode. Everybody knows what bumpy road mode is. I've just switched it off, switch it back on. It's basically, I'd run it in sport, but do I need it in sport? No, I'm going to put it in comfort mode. You know, I don't need it to be fast. This is the key thing. It's really good. So, you know, this is Ferrari Roma.
In my veins, I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame, cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed, all the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say, I don't push pause, no I push play, I won't stop till I make a change, I withdraw on the things I make, I turn